You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Rangers. Let's get into it with the lead. These make zero sense for the podcast listeners. There's a good chunk of people who only consume this show in podcast form, and half the time they got to be wildly confused with what's going on in the lead.
Just your random noises.
Yeah,
I think you sold the visual with your noise.
I don't know what to do here. This game is I don't know what to think anymore with this team.
It is.
What?
It's true.
We laugh
so
when
true.
we're scared.
It's so
true,
true,
man.
It's so true.
What the
I think last
fudge
game
do we do?
was the first time I've gone into a game in a while being like, I don't think they'll win tonight. Like, I'm pretty optimistic Oilers fan. I think they'll win every single game.
I don't think they're going to win tonight either.
You knew in the second period how we were getting dominated and Jack was standing on his head that like we were going to get rolled.
It was a matter of time.
We were in the lead. And I'm like, we're done.
If they have one win in their first 7 games, that's so bad.
It's not good.
You know what? Let's keep it a little positive. Welcome into Oilersnation Everyday, live from the Sports Closet studio. Jay's here because it's a Sherwood Ford GIANT game day edition of the show. Dackey's in on the YouTube with the first comment. So much pressure. Go Oilers, ? Cheers, boys. Go Oilers, ?
That is how we all are, my friend.
That probably could have been the title of the show today. Just Go Oilers, ? We're going to get set for Oilers Rangers tonight. Our boy Jonny Lazarus is going to swing by in a little bit to give us the Rangers side of this matchup. But first, it's a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition, and we got a special little video sent to us from our friends at Sherwood Ford.
Oh.
From Sherwood Ford Power Sports.
From Sherwood Ford, Sherwood Power Sports and Marine.
Yeah,
Aaron, can we play the video of what they got going on there?
Check it out.
Look at this sweet drone shot. Look at that big building right across from Millennium Place in Sherwood Park.
Yeah, dude, I drove past it yesterday.
I drove
that would
past
be the
place.
Sherwood and Sherwood.
That would be
Power
Sports
that
Marine.
adds up a lot.
So you've been driving past this building.
I didn't know what it was going to be. Now I'm very familiar with it.
I'll tell you what it can be. Free Spirit Marine and Power Sports. They've been around since 1985. You know them, you love them. They're teaming up with our friends at Sherwood Ford, relocating to Sherwood Park and becoming Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, a brand new state-of-the-art facility in the heart of Sherwood Park across the street from Millennium Place. Look at this sleek all-black exterior. You know what's hidden inside there, Liam? A 91,000 liter. I think 91,000 of these. That's how many liters.
Is that what you asked me how many liters my water bottle was this morning?
It is. 91,000 liter test pool to service boats in, drive-through service so you never have to unload your own boat. Unbelievable stuff, whether you're looking for a fishing boat, an ATV, side-by-sides, motorcycles, or Liam, you're a pontoon boat guy. They got it all. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine.
There's a pool in there?
91,000 liter pool.
That is crazy.
Pool, I think, is not giving it any justice by calling it a pool.
Yeah, it's way more than that.
It is an indoor lake that you can put your freshly purchased Mastercraft or test drive one indoors in a body of water.
That is crazy.
We're going to go shoot some videos.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
We're going to go full prestige worldwide and shoot.
I'll be on my pontoon.
On a boat.
You can't swim?
Yeah, what?
I don't want to swim.
I choose not to choice. It's like the Seinfeld thing.
I choose not to run.
I choose not to race. Liam, I choose not to swim.
Why is Liam sinking? I chose not to swim, guys. All right, peace.
We're very
You
excited.
don't get up every morning and swim on the River Thames?
No, shockingly, I don't. The River Thames, scary waters. I was there. I witnessed it. Whales were in there once. 2 whales have got stuck in the River Thames over the years. I would never swim in there.
Whales are our friends. We're mammal brethren.
Are we? They're much bigger than us.
Yeah.
I know, but they love us. They were there to defend us. There's no documented
whale death,
human attack by a killer whale in the wild.
Oh, just
don't
marine.
Just SeaWorld and stuff.
Just don't put them
There's been people who've been swallowed by whales and come out the other end.
Yeah, exactly. Because like shit, I just swallowed one of my brethren. If I spit you out, you're okay. Plankton, get in my mouth.
Yeah.
Someone commented the other day and said, "You guys get off topic too much." Well,
What are you talking
we're
about?
1-6 or whatever the hell we are. I don't even know what the record is anymore because I'm not looking.
Yeah,
yeah.
in fear.
1-4-1.
1-4-1. It feels like 1 in 100.
It's only 1-4-1.
And then we're a
So,
10
right?
exactly.
We're only
And then we're a
6 games
10
in.
game hater away being like 11-4. Bees.
They were 1-1-1 last week. Not bad.
Well, it's an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, week before.
So
they were
now if we
1-1.
can go, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, let's
This
see.
is a tough week because like the Rangers are good. Did they play last night in Calgary?
night before.
Of course.
When everyone
So they're
played.
rested. I didn't
Yeah.
see any of them at the Tool concert last night, for which I was at. and
Oh, that's
still
what that is.
buzzing.
How was it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tool is so good. If you look, you don't just like Tool. You either love them or you just don't love them.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them.
Feel
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that's kind of true about most things.
No, so you can like things.
Oh, so no one ever likes Tool. You're either-
If you're into Tool, you love Tool.
I
There's
feel
no
like- I feel like that's like Creed too. You either love Creed or people hate Creed.
I love Creed.
I like Creed.
I love Creed.
I like Creed. I won't say I love Creed.
Well, I didn't shit on yours, Jay.
Well,
All right, Rangers in
Oilers
my
town.
fellow Tool heads, I think is how we call ourselves, refer to ourselves as.
Nice.
So I would agree with my statement. All right.
Sherwood
Shout out,
Ford Giant Game Day. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant and Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Our giant thing to watch tonight. Here's mine. Roast me if you will. It's between the pipes. The Oilers need a good performance from their goaltending tonight. It is as simple as that. Their high danger save percentage is dead last in the NHL by a country mile, Jay.
Yeah, well, what do we have? 400 high danger chances against
Nope,
Minnesota?
we've been allowing scoring chances at the 6th best rate in the NHL.
That is incorrect. What was it against
Nope.
Minnesota?
Don't care. Season as a whole, 6th best.
Okay.
I don't know if I agree.
Yeah.
I think you got to take
This
it
is
game
this
by
is where
game.
you gotta fucking pull the stats out of it. Jack's been standing on his goddamn head
He gave up a goal that went through his legs on the ice last game against Minnesota.
on a 2-on-1.
through his eggs. That's going 5-hole. And that's after like 900. He was tired. Jack was tired. Jack was allowed to be tired.
He doesn't exactly move efficiently, so that might be on him.
Holy shit. So we want to just focus on goaltending
No,
and not how bad we are in our
No, but
defensive zone.
I do think it will go a long way. Like we talked about when McDavid went down, we were doing the whole who needs to step up here. And I said, it's time for the Oilers to get a week or 2 week heater from one of their goalies because that will help you get through the McDavid-less hockey.
Oh, we need a collective heater right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to get hot. Stay hot.
So Stuart Skinner is in the starters net this morning for the Edmonton Oilers. He is expected to get the call tonight against the New York Rangers. Skinner so far on the season hasn't exactly been good. 3 games played, 4.29 goals against average, 8.14 save percentage. They could use a bounce back from him. That is what I'm watching tonight. I want the Oilers goalies to go out and steal them one in this hockey game. And I'm looking for Stuart Skinner to do that. Jay, what is your giant thing you're watching tonight?
Man, I don't know if you can put a brick wall in that and it could steal the game unless the team in front of that wall plays better.
Sure, I think that's fair.
What am I expecting tonight?
Yeah.
Well, it's I don't know if I can expect anything anymore. I'm emotionally compromised. But what they should do is play better in their own zone. We're all like on the telecast. Oh, the Oilers are forechecking. They're forechecking. Ah! Well, we're not fucking playing hockey in our own zone, and we are getting worked.
There was a good element of that. The game against Minnesota was really the first time the Oilers have gotten buried off the cycle.
Buried.
And like it was bad. That was the first time. Like every other game when people were pointing out the defensive zone structure, all you'd have to do is look at the goals against. Against Philly, they got burned off the rush every single time. Against Winnipeg, it wasn't long stretches of sustained play that was killing the Oilers. They weren't losing guys in front. The game against Minnesota was really the first time that's happened. Evan Bouchard was speaking to our very own Jason Kreger earlier this morning, and he had this to say about the idea that the Oilers' new defensive system is costing them hockey games. When guys are tipping pucks in from in front of your net, it's not usually a system thing. It's usually individual play. Getting used to a system isn't an excuse you can use after 6 games. I would add onto that after 6 games and the longest training camp in team history. This stuff should have been ironed out. I don't blame the system. I don't blame the coaching. The guys need to be better.
Yeah, it is true. Like, look at the goals that they're allowing too. Like, my biggest thing for today would be protect the net.
Okay.
Like, there's so many times like The Eriksson Ek one is unbelievable. That guy just snuck in and
Just walked right in.
and it's not the first time it's happened this
although
season.
that guy, wow. Like,
He's
I
great.
know. He is a
Oilers could have
force.
had him. They didn't trade those 2 first-round picks for Griffin Reinhart or whatever it was.
Mhm.
Anyway, the first one as
Anyway.
well, like Marco Rossi, like I said it yesterday, like he literally cross-checked Bouchard out of the way, and then Bouchard did nothing about it, and he just kept his stick on the ice and scored. Like, be aggressive in front of your own goal and don't want the other team to score.
Mhm.
Like, it's quite simple, really. Like, it just feels like they're just so worried about other things that are trying to happen on the ice that they just forgetting the small elements of the game of hockey, which is relatively simple, all things considered.
I've got a question
Okay.
based on what we're seeing. Do they want it?
Some nights,
Do they
I'm
want it?
unsure. In defensive zone, I would say no. Offensively, I would say yes.
I feel like, like that's where I get tricked. I was watching the Philly game, like, oh, we brought our legs, we're keeping pace, but it was all kind of on the offensive forecheck side. We just don't want it in our zone. We don't want it.
Oh yeah, that's 100% a part of it. Like they're just not willing at this point to pull up their boots and do the dirty work.
Yeah.
But again, like we've seen this core group of guys want it before, right? Like
Yeah.
We gotta
they
get
should
wanting
snap
it.
out of it.
How do we go from not wanting it to wanting it?
And you can have like
It's an age-old debate.
you can have like 1 or 2 games where you kind of fall asleep and it's like those just like a bad chunk, but it's been 6 games now of very bad hockey besides the
It's just
Nashville
like-
game.
I am like a disappointed father.
Yes.
Like I just watch these games and I don't normally like I am so emotionally connected to like every like missed pass or like amazing pass made. Like I feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm just generally in a sense of disappointment when I watch the game. And I don't get as emotionally low as I normally would.
Yeah.
So do I want it? Maybe we collectively don't want it. Maybe there's just like this.
It's just
There's-
weird malaise.
There's this thing going through Edmonton of not wanting it.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's been a really
Do you want it,
disheartening
Aaron?
start to the year.
I want it.
Do you
But
feel like you want it though? Like we can
I
say
feel like
we
I do.
want it.
I really want to talk about a win on the post-game show because it has been so negative to start this season. I want it, Jay. I want it.
Okay.
Do you want it?
Well, that's where I'm like, maybe I don't want it. But I got to find myself internally to want
Okay,
it.
how do
I
we
think it's
how
a
do we
collective
want it more?
community thing. Tyler, do you want it?
I mean,
Do you
I
feel like
want-
you want it?
I
I know
want-
we want it, but do you
I
feel
want
it?
them to earn it. Like again, it's very frustrating when they
But
lose.
you got to want it.
But I think you're right. Like against Mini, when they went down by a goal, I wasn't like, "Come on, boys! Like big comeback. I can feel it." It was kind of like, "Okay,
we're
they're
done.
gonna like, yeah,
We're done.
we're done.
We are
There's no
getting
fight."
outworked. Like I was shocked to come out of the second period with the lead.
Yeah.
Shocked.
My thing,
Yeah.
I think they really do, and the fan base probably needs this too at this point. They need a signature win. Think about when they came back against the Rangers a couple of years ago, right? The
Tonight's the night.
I know. You had a big comeback.
Roughly same time of the year. Roughly within like 10 days.
Yeah. Remember
Believe it or not.
Draisaitl telling Truber or whatever, like, "Oh, it's coming," and then they go pile up 3 goals. McDavid does his thing. The Oilers win. They need something like that, and I think the fan base at this point needs something like that, because it'd be one thing if the Oilers can go out and win 4-3 tonight and like play decent hockey. It would be another thing if they could go out and win 6-1 tonight, or be down 2-0 and then pull off a crazy comeback and fire home 4 goals in the third period. Like, we need some sort of a signature victory this season. The game against Nashville was awesome, but then they followed up with an absolute stinker, and now we kind of forget about it. They need a signature win on home ice, get the crowd into this thing, and bring the team together a little bit as well.
Like Minnesota was who the Oilers were last year.
Yeah.
We're down, but you see how we're playing like, oh, we got
Live
this.
at
Like
the comeback,
doesn't even,
get after it,
just
yeah.
hammer the comeback.
And not to pile on the Minnesota game, but they were missing arguably their best defenseman and probably their second best forward in Matthew Boldy, and also had $14 million in dead cap, and still managed to find a way to beat the Oilers in the way. Like, it's just frustrating. And in the Winnipeg game too, like, I think we forget how well the Oilers actually played in that game, and it was just that mistake by Stuart Skinner that just led them down the wrong path. So it's like, just put together a performance like that tonight, and you'll probably win the game as long as your goalie stays in the crease.
Well, hey, that's rude.
Truth hurts. I'm sorry, but like in the NHL, you can't make mistakes like that. As much as did you hear Rick defended that move?
Yeah, well, which is mind blowing. Like it was just like it
bad.
just goes like I defend the move in the sense of if you do it when you see it, like you don't think about it, you do it.
Yes.
because you saw the opportunity. And like, there's no time to think in the NHL.
No.
Zero.
Yeah.
The ones that need to think, you can see who they are because they F up a lot.
And so far early in the season, that's been Evan Bouchard effing up a lot. And we were
I
talking.
wasn't going to say it, but sure.
We were talking yesterday on the show about, when's Jay Woodcroft going to start dishing out his minutes with a little bit more reasoning behind them, giving minutes to guys that earn it, sitting back guys who
12
don't.
minutes a night. That's all he needs.
5-on-5 or in general?
General. I don't know. In general.
So, AB, do
Power play.
we have the Oilers lines for this evening?
Yeah.
Okay, let's flash those up right now and go through the lineups brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant.
I'm sorry. I've got one more thing, expectation for tonight.
Yeah.
That we
Psych.
don't take 3 too many men.
Oh, do you know that was a
penalties in a game.
record
Hasn't happened since 2012.
with Arizona?
It tied the
Unbelievable.
record, right?
Tied the
Also,
record, sorry, yes.
we thought we did bitch about this quite a bit last show, but they could have had more. There was a couple other very bad changes where you're like, oh, that might have been too many men.
You know what? They're like, we don't got it tonight, so let's set a record.
Hey, be memorable.
Which
Let's
is
build off of that. We got a record. Let's build off that. Maybe that can turn into
Yeah.
maybe most goals scored in a game.
That's the low
They're
point
record
of the
chasing,
season.
yes.
We're gonna remember the low.
Yeah.
'Cause that was pretty low.
I really do
like-
think, I still have a lot of confidence in this team. Sorry to cut you off, Liam. I think we'll look back in January when the team's somehow
laugh.
we'll be like, remember that game against Mini when they took 3 too many men penalties? Ha.
And I really just want to hop in a time machine to that exact point so I can just get through this because I'm not feeling like I want it just in life. I don't
that
want to work
scares
hard.
me, Jay. That scares me.
And maybe because I went to the Tool concert and got in my cups with Bag Milk a little bit last night. And if you want to see a hungover guy, Bag Milk is your guy. He's hurting.
He's a hurting unit.
He went missing for about 30 minutes. Just left. And then all of a sudden he walked back in and he's like, oh, your guys are still here. We're like, what?
Where would we have gone?
He had left the building and then decided to come back to the building. He was on the street. He left the building and then came back.
In the middle of the
We had not
concert?
left. No, at the end.
Oh.
Anyways, it was fun. I'll let him tell his tales in real life. Stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll have stories today on the Real Life podcast about that. What were you going to say, Liam? I don't know.
I don't know. It was something about the bench stuff, just like the lows.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe they can get
they-
4 tonight.
Maybe. The
So you want it. You want it. There you go.
The Oilers
I don't
have
know
to
what I
lead
want
in that
anymore.
game? 3?
Yeah. I mean,
The Oilers had to lead 3 times in that game.
Yep.
And not at one point did it feel like they had control of the actual game.
Nope.
Just so weird. There's something wrong with this team at the moment.
There's
There's something in the water.
there could be something in the
There's
water.
Well,
something in the
normally
water.
that comes in spring with the runoff, you know?
True.
The
no, in the cold.
yeah.
It's cold. I was at an event last night. It was a kickoff event for the Heritage Classic.
Yeah.
And, it was 20 degrees
Was
like
that at the
5
Ice
days ago.
House?
It was at the Ice
Yeah.
House. Got to see the Stanley Cup. Kevin Lowe.
Oh, it's so cool.
It was minus 15. It was so cold.
Oh, we didn't execute on our bit where we were going to have Waz do weather reports for us. We are going to put him in front of a green screen, and then we just totally forgot.
Well, still time.
But what is the weather?
for the show?
Yeah, for the show.
It's
Pre-gaming on
supposed to be
Sunday.
+1 daytime and -7
Yeah.
nighttime, which is fine. I
Right
just
now,
wasn't dressed.
my basic Google weather that I just searched says at puck drop it's going to be 1 degrees.
Careful.
That's
Ice
good.
might melt.
I don't think the ice will melt, Liam. I think we're okay.
Last
All right.
Heritage Classic in Winnipeg. Mark Letestu, hero, should be in the Ring of Fame.
Probably not.
The best 55 or they're ever done 55. Well, Ulanov, debatable. It was 2 or 3 degrees, and they had to do a sun delay.
Yeah, but that's because they were trying to start it at 2 o'clock. So different.
Yeah,
Starting it at 5 o'clock is probably the move.
it's probably learnings from that.
Yeah, under the lights, all that good stuff.
Is daylight savings on Sunday?
Oh,
I
no.
feel like it's I think
I think they
next
said that on
weekend.
Pardon My Take. Good, look that up, Tyler.
When is daylight savings time? November 5th. So we're
Okay,
good. We got
November
time.
5th.
One
We're
more
good.
week.
We got time.
Thank God.
All right, let's get into our lineup report for Sherwood Ford the Giant. Starting up top, Leon Draisaitl with Matthias Janmark, the janitor, and Evander Kane
Janmark was noticeable.
in a good way.
Yes,
Had a breakaway.
yeah, made a good move.
He's actually he's dependable with the puck on his stick too. He doesn't make a lot
Maybe.
of dumb decisions.
Must be nice.
It's almost like Jay Woodcroft must know something about his players.
Yeah.
Nugent-Hopkins with Fogle and Hyman, McLeod with Brown and Holloway, Forward units going to stay the same. Derek Ryan, Adam Ernie are the extra skaters. What I'm looking for in this one, an uptick in minutes perhaps from a guy like Warren Fogle. You mentioned it,
Kid's
Liam.
hot.
Didn't play a lot, and he's playing very, very well. So I probably want to see a little bit more out of Warren Fogle. And third line, I have liked what they've done. They have not been on the ice for a goal against together. They're dependable. They need to score. It's goal time, goal time.
We're celebrating zero production. That's where we're at right now.
Well, I think with a third line, like on a game-to-game basis, you can come away being like, hey, they played well tonight, just didn't score. They didn't get caved, right? They pushed the river the right way to steal line from low tide.
Good teams.
But
they score.
Yep, you got to start scoring. Now it's at the point where like you're going to need a little bit of a heater to get your numbers back up and get your paces all set.
They got to
Third
get
line's gotta score.
They move the puck. They're fast, but they just got to get aggressive.
They're all the same.
I know they're just like
They're all very perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
They need to
attack the middle.
Someone needs to be in the middle of the ice, and quite frankly, it needs to be Ryan McLeod.
But he's not.
Holloway's doing a lot. Brown is getting better. I know people want to.
Holloway doesn't want the center. He doesn't want the middle of the ice.
McLeod?
Yeah, sorry, McLeod.
I know he doesn't.
He doesn't want the center of the ice.
It's a problem. I think he's a better winger.
He might be.
I think Holloway would be a better centerman. Where he played in junior and college.
That actually, I don't even think that's a terrible idea.
I don't know. Holloway's
he doesn't need to take the draws. McLeod's decent
fine,
enough in the
whatever.
draws, but have him take the draws and have Holloway just cut right to the middle of the ice. Play McLeod on the wings.
He's gonna get in there.
Yeah. That third line's got to get scoring. A bunch of you have pointed it out in the YouTube chat. Yes, new look blue line for the Edmonton Oilers. Darnell Nurse with Cody Ceci, Matthias Ekholm with Philip Broberg. Earlier on this season,
Swedish connection. Maybe this is what Broberg needs.
Hey, remember in training camp we were talking about could Ekholm and Broberg be a really good second pairing for the Oilers?
The second coming of Larson and Klefbom.
Oh, don't even say stuff like that. You can't.
Why not? We got to be positive.
I know, but
I'm just very happy that the number 6 defenseman is in the number 6 slot. I'm very happy. That is how you manage your roster. You identify where they should be and put them in the right slot and set them up for success.
I do kind of like the Bouchard-Kulak duo.
Yeah. Yes. It's great.
So this gets a big thumbs up from Jay.
Massive. I said it before the season started and got absolutely roasted.
If Broberg is playing on that second line with Ekholm, then Broberg needs to play on the left side. His worst games have come when he's playing on his offside with Kulak.
Maybe
he's not comfortable there, right?
But you're not going to flip Ekholm, are you? I don't know.
I would rather have Ekholm 33, whatever he is, experienced NHLer.
Yeah,
I'd rather have him in an uncomfortable position than Broberg, who's not even played 100 games in the NHL yet. It's seems like an easy thing from an outside perspective. Like, oh, he's just on the other side. It's like, yeah, but then your body's turning different ways. Like you have to pass the puck different ways. Game. It's totally different. I think Ekholm would be more comfortable there when Broberg is still learning the game and he's got much better.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's talked to Ekholm.
Maybe they figured it out for sure. But like when he played with Kulak on the wrong side, it didn't go very well. That was against Vancouver. I know nothing went well.
Yeah, I think that
was a collective. Yeah,
the Oilers seem, as an organization, the Oilers have confidence he can play the right side. Holland said that a bunch of times.
Sure. I just would be more comfortable.
I know Bouchard saying it's not implementing a new system can be the excuse, but like maybe it's implementing a new system that's contributing to this. We're trying to copy what Vegas did and go to that box format or whatever the hell it's called.
Like it has to be a factor. Of course it is. Anybody who's learning a new system, I'm sure there's some struggle. I love the ownership of that from Bush saying no. Mm-hmm. When it happens in front of the net, great. That's on a human being to care, to give a shit meter. Once again, might have to make an appearance later.
Yeah, he should maybe have his the spicy picante Wheaties, and get a little bit. Oh, like he shows fire at the weirdest times. Like show it with your like battle and compete when the play is on. Own your ice. This is your ice. You come in here, you feel the wrath of coming into my ice and get out of here.
I think this is going to be
no goal for you.
Should be a bit of a wake-up call for Bush.
Well, it's collective. I don't isolate just Bush. Like it's collective. Like everyone's letting people sneak around. But yeah,
and you don't want to do that against this Rangers team. Before we get into our Rangers preview in a little bit here, do we have the Rangers lines for this evening's hockey game? Just
stud.
They're looking good right now. You look at that top line: Zibanejad, Kakko, and Kreider, Philip Hedl with Alexei Lafreniere and Artemi Panarin. Interesting to see the former number 1 overall pick maybe starting to find a bit of a home here in their lineup. That is,
And Kakko.
Lafreniere?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went first overall.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know.
That is true. That is true. I'm a big Kakko guy.
You know what? Like the Rangers had those two because they were relatively decent still those years, right? And kind of got lucky. And then they got those two guys. Like imagine if they got like 2 above average NHL players, like 2 guys who could actually contribute nightly. Like it'd be crazy what this team could be.
Yeah, just looking, that Panarin Hedl duo has been really, really good to start the year as well. They've combined for 14 points in 6 games. So that is a duo you are going to want to watch. The third line, also kind of tough to play against. Vinny Trocheck with Blake Wheeler and Will Cully.
Oh, God.
No points.
That's a third line.
That's a good third line.
That can score.
Yeah.
They've got 4 lines here. When you look at this, man, they're good.
Yeah. Just quickly, like Cully's got a goal already. So does Trocheck this season.
Do we really think we have depth?
Yes.
Let me finish the Rangers.
Oh, my God.
Benino centering the fourth line with Barkley, Gaudreau, and Jimmy Vesey. That's also a decent fourth line. So Rangers team looks good. Last year was the year I picked them to win the Stanley Cup.
And they got
the Oilers.
Shesterkin.
And they got Igor Shesterkin.
Please tell me he's not starting tonight for some random.
An order to what I'm doing here, James.
Well, I'm just wishfully. I know that.
Ryan Lindgren with Adam Fox, really damn good top pairing. Keandre Miller with Jacob Trouba. Eric Gustafsson with Braden Schneider. Again, depth. This is a very, very good New York Rangers team. And yes, the expected starter this evening for the New York Rangers. Actually, it's unconfirmed. Shesterkin's unconfirmed.
Maybe he went to the Tool concert last night. He's banged up like Bagman.
I don't know if he's a big Tool guy.
I don't know.
Like, maybe he loves Tool.
They are in the middle of a road trip. So, maybe.
He probably loves Tools. Ekholm. Those Scandinavians love their.
I feel like you guys would be such bros.
Probably.
Once I got over the starstruckness.
Yeah.
I find my way out of his luscious beard.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'm not convinced this Rangers team is as. It looks great on paper.
They're 4-2 to start the year, Liam.
No. I'm
2-0 to start the road trip.
I'm not saying they're.
Are you not like a professional scout?
I mean, we can look on paper and be like, yeah, this team's great.
Okay.
Gaudreau doesn't have. Here we go. Gaudreau doesn't have a goal. Benino doesn't have a goal. Wheeler doesn't have a goal. Coley has 1. VC has 1. Trocheck has 1.
Now do the Oilers bottom 6.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying they're not like stars.
And now tell me the record.
They're 4-2. I'm saying they're a very good team, but Blake Wheeler right now is just a name in a New York Rangers jersey. He's
your good. Third line center. He's like,
well, exactly. We just said their third line stacked. They have 2 goals between the 3 of them.
Okay, well, let's compare 0, third lines at the end of the season.
Okay, sure, we can. But I just think like this team's very, very good. I'm not denying that.
Well,
it
seems like there's some denial
as great as
there.
we're making them seem.
All right, we're
we'll
going
see
to
tonight.
Continuing along with the Rangers talk. Let's get
We
to
hope they lay an egg tonight.
Yeah, I do.
We need them to lay an egg.
And I'll be right. Just like I'm right about the Seattle.
We got to get to our game notes. It's presented by Wendy's. We are launching a fun little game with Wendy's over at dailyfaceoff.com, a survivor-style game, and you are going to be competing for a chance to not only win a $5,000 cash prize at the end of the season, but also win some delicious prizes from our friends at Wendy's throughout the year.
Wendy's is going to give away a lot of food, and it's good. We're going to be trying the barbecue bacon cheeseburger here right away.
Mm-hmm. I've tried it before. It's very good. The crispy onions, they're legit. Fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. Shout out to Wendy's. Last year against the Rangers, the Oilers were 1-0-1. They outscored the Rangers 8-7. Dylan Holloway had a goal in that comeback game at MSG. Evan Bouchard had a pair. Ryan McLeod had 3 points. Isn't that a nice list of 3 players you'd like to see take a step forward in tonight's hockey game?
What did I text Liam? What did I text you?
You texted me and said Dylan Holloway goal.
And then also, what did I say?
Ryan McLeod goal.
There you go.
All right. We will talk a little bit of betting later on in the show, of course.
There's a format to this, Tyler.
I am aware of that. The New York Rangers so far this season have not allowed 30 shots against in a game. That's really damn good. And when you're only giving up 25, 21, 27, 27, 19, and 26 shots, and Igor Shesterkin's in net, that is going to be a problem. That is a big reason why they're only allowing 1.86 goals against per 60 at 5-on-5. Shesterkin in his career against the Oilers has a 3.88 goals against average and an .869 save percentage.
Oh,
Brian
fears
Windhorst
the
meme.
Blue Norse. Let's go.
What does that mean? The Oilers have gotten to Shesterkin before. Maybe they could do it again tonight.
Stay tuned, folks.
Think about that. So there you go. Those are your game notes presented by Wendy's. Let's keep cruising along on Oilers Nation every day. And head to the Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Jonny Lazarus is our guest today. And let me take a deep breath before I tell you where he works. An analyst with NHL content at Bleacher Report Open Ice. He also covers the Rangers for the Hockey News, and he does the Blue Crew pod. He does everything. Jonny, welcome to the show.
I do everything besides score on the Oilers, but I know the Rangers will do that tonight, huh, boys?
That's an interesting way to start this.
You're talking to a
He's
very
gone.
vulnerable group. You're talking to a very vulnerable group, so we agree with you.
I was listening, so I figured I'd drop that early on. But thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's start with maybe the expectations on this Rangers team coming into the season. I think in a way, heading into this year, it was similar to the Oilers in the sense that, like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, no matter what they do in the regular season, this team will be judged on what they do in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Rangers, it's a little bit different just because the coaching changes this summer. You know, Peter Laviolette coming in, a whole new assistant coaching staff comes in. I think there were a lot of changes made over the summer. You lose Kane, lose Tarasenko, and Tyler Mott, who Ranger fans love even more than the first two guys I named. So I think there were just a lot more question marks with the Rangers going into this year. The Oilers, I just feel like with McDavid every year, it's cup or bust. The Rangers have that now because of that 21-22 run. But the expectations weren't really high in New York, I feel like, till that magical run happened. So I don't know if it's necessarily the same, but, you know, New York right now is a city that hasn't had a championship in any sport in over a decade. So I think everyone kind of just wants a championship no matter which team gets it here at this point.
And the Rangers are now 4-2 to start the year. I rattled off some numbers before you hopped on, and it's like, damn, they're looking really good in a few different areas. Maybe what's been the most surprising part about this 4-2 start for you?
Well, I think the most surprising start about the winning is that the Rangers are winning games and Mika Zibanejad hasn't scored a goal yet. Filipino hasn't scored a goal yet. The power play has looked good, but again, the 5-on-5 production for the Rangers hasn't been all that high. Right now, the only line that's really producing at a 5-on-5 rate is that second line of Panarin, Hedl, and Lafreniere. But you look at the Rangers, and right now I think a lot of their offense comes from that first unit. Chris Kreider, 3 power play goals, and that's actually a storyline going into tonight's game that we haven't touched on yet, is that this game features the 3 best power play players over the last 2 seasons. Draisaitl, Zibanejad, and Kreider have the most power play goals since the start of 21-22, which is a pretty interesting fact because Draisaitl and McDavid, I feel like you'd think would be 1 and 2, but it's Zibanejad and Kreider. But yeah, I think that's the biggest surprise so far is that the Rangers are winning games, and, you know, in my opinion, their best goal scorer hasn't even gotten started yet.
Do you feel like the Rangers are motivated to try to set and beat the Oilers at another record, and that's too many men penalties in a single game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Oilers have been good.
Say that again? Too many men?
Too many men penalties. Like they did three
last game, first time
They
in over
set
a
an
decade.
NHL record. Yeah,
It
exactly.
was special.
That is.
Do the Rangers want to come and try to top that? Like, do you think they got that kind of smoke?
I would sure hope not. I don't know if you saw the clip against the Kraken where the Rangers teamed up on Yanni Gourde, but I don't know how they didn't get a penalty on that one. But I would imagine the Rangers try to avoid the too many men, knowing that Edmonton is super dangerous on the power play.
How's the Rangers' third and fourth lines this season?
Yeah. The third line's interesting. I think the narrative right now is that Blake Wheeler's slowing them down a bit through 6 games.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's such a shock, but through 6 games right now, Wheeler has 0 points, and it's interesting, right? You don't want to be too hard on a guy that's, you know, a little bit older, on the back 9 of his career for sure, probably like the last 2 holes if we're making a golf reference. Yeah. But, you know, I think Wheeler's playing a role that he's not used to right now. Third line, no power play minutes. You know, he's used to being a top 6 guy, getting power play, scoring goals, and I think right now he's just trying to find himself a little bit more. But as far as Will Cooley and Vinny Trocheck go, Cooley's now, you know, in his official rookie season. So he's obviously just trying to play simple and not make mistakes out there. And then Trocheck's been the best on that line. I think he's been unbelievable so far this season. And I don't know if you guys caught wind of Sean Avery's little rant about him, but he's taken it personally, I think, for sure, the last couple games. And then the fourth line, I think Nick Bonino has been a huge add. Nick Bonino is like a shot blocking machine. The guy's incredible at faceoffs, and the Rangers have like one of the best faceoff percentages in the league right now, which is something that the Rangers are not used to. So, you know, I think that's been a good addition so far.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Alexis Lafreniere and the start he's off to. 3 goals in 6 games. This is a guy hasn't hit the 20 goal mark yet in his career in the NHL. Obviously, a disappointing first few seasons when you consider expectations. This start to the season, though, is this showing you something different? Do you think he's ready to finally take that big step forward and be a 30-goal guy for this team, or is this nothing more than just a good couple of games?
So it's interesting because, he's got 3 goals, no assists, and I wouldn't even consider him to be a goal scorer right now. I still think he's more of a playmaker, but for whatever reason, he's finding himself in the right spots. I mean, that first goal, it's a backdoor tap in off a great pass by Panarin. Obviously has that deflection against Calgary the other night, but Lafreniere has made a lot of strong passes. I feel like, the other night on his backhand, he went, backhand across the entire zone to Panarin for a one-timer. Panarin didn't finish, but to me, Lafreniere right now is just playing super confident. He's kind of let loose a little bit, knowing that he has a little bit more of a longer leash. I mean, one big notice this year is that Laviolette doesn't shuffle the lines every period like Gerard Gallant did last year. If Lafreniere didn't have a shot on goal, he was bumped to the 4th line. That's just something that Gallant's style was way different than Laviolette's approach this year. But I think overall, it's just the confidence of playing with Panarin. And I think, all 4 of us could play on a line with Panarin and feel pretty confident, right? He's that good of a player. And I think he's been that effective this year. So for Lafreniere, I think, having that new coaching staff, a fresh start, longer leash, a fresh contract as well, I think that's just a big weight off of his shoulders.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned one of the players they lost over the summer was Patrick Kane. He's obviously still an unrestricted free agent. I know Frank Saravalli has brought up the idea of the Rangers still kind of being connected to him, still being somewhat interested. But then you look at this top 6, the way Lafreniere and Kakko kind of fit into it right now. Does it make sense for the Rangers to go back down that road with Patrick Kane? Do you think they'd be open to that?
Well, it's actually interesting because I talked about it on the Blue Crew today about how if you want to get more out of Blake Wheeler, maybe bump him up to the first line and move Kakko down to the 3rd line, because you know what you have with Kaapo Kakko right now, whereas Blake Wheeler, they're still trying to figure it out. So if the Wheeler experiment doesn't work, you could still do that exchange, but put Kane up on the 1st line instead of Blake Wheeler. Wheeler doesn't have a long-term contract. He could be, moved if things don't work out. But with Kaapo Kakko, listen, he's, a number 2 overall draft pick, obviously has a very high ceiling, but he hasn't necessarily shown that explosiveness when it comes to offensive production. He's been in the 1st line for many games now over the last 2 years and, hasn't really produced as much as I think people expected. So, he could be more of a role guy just to make the team better. Whereas Patrick Kane obviously comes in and makes this team so much more skilled. I think fans are a little bit 50-50 about Kane just because of how last year ended. But obviously he wasn't fully healthy. So I think it's rough to judge. But I think, for me, I'm always saying yes to 88. He was my favorite player growing up, and I'd take him at 50 years old. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of fan bases obviously would. Just quickly on Igor Shesterkin as well. He got the start the other night against Calgary, but they gave him the night off against the Kraken, I believe, right? So he should be getting the start here in this one against the Oilers. Just kind of been a bit of an up and down season. 1 goal against, then 5, then 1, then 4, then 1. So we're going to hold on to hope that he's due for a 4 or 5. We're
good showing him, though.
Yeah, his career numbers aren't great. Anyways, how's Igor looked?
I mean, he looked unbelievable against Calgary the other night. And I think the biggest thing for him thus far has just been the games where he's let up, those 4 or 5 goals has been a lack of effort from the guys in front of him. Like that Nashville game, the Rangers had nobody moving. The only guy that was moving his feet that night was Vinny Trocheck. Nashville took it to them the entire game. So I can't really blame the goalie there. But one thing I will say, and I know I chirped you guys at the beginning when I hopped on because I wanted to lead into this. Igor apparently scored a goalie goal in practice today during a drill. And like I said, everyone scored in the Oilers. So maybe tonight Igor scores in the Oilers too. I mean, he's been itching at getting one for the past couple of years. That guy can do it. It's just a matter of time.
Well, our last guest, when we played the Minnesota Wild, said Kaprizov should have a great night, and then he put up 3 points against us.
Let me paint the
It's not looking
picture.
good.
We're down 1.
Yeah.
There's 2 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oilers take a too many men penalty. We pull the goalie to make it 5-on-5. Igor scores.
It's lining up.
I'd be okay.
Puck line
I'd like to
Jesus.
see a goalie goal at some point in my life. So I think I'd be okay with that.
I prefer it not tonight, if I was completely honest.
But we're in a state over here in Edmonton, Johnny.
Yeah,
Can you not envision what I just described happening?
I could see it.
Yeah, that's so effed up.
and like one of those really weird too many men penalties where like Skinner was just too slow getting to the bench and like the guy jumped over and the refs were just kind of like, you know what, fuck these guys. That's a penalty today. You never know. All right, Johnny, appreciate you hopping on, man. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you guys. Have fun.
There you go,
Thanks.
Jonny Lazarus. You can find him on Twitter at JLazzy2. 2 Zs or Zs, depending on where you're from, 23. I also tagged him in a tweet today, which is probably just an easier way to find it.
I don't know if we're allowed to say, but we're working on a project with Johnny.
Are we?
We are. That's all I'll say.
I like how you
Maybe
say.
I'm not. Maybe I'm not allowed to say anything.
I like how you say, I don't know if we're allowed to say this. Kind of your call.
Yeah. Then you say,
but then I retracted it immediately.
Yeah. All right. There
Stay
you go.
tuned.
Big shout out.
He's a cool dude.
Oh, Johnny's good shit.
Tyler Mott. Connor Bedard said Tyler Mott was his favorite player. Do you remember when that came out?
Yeah, that's weird.
And then the New York Rangers fans love him. Vancouver fans
Mott Girl
loved
Summer.
him. Maybe it is. Maybe we need Tyler Mott. Where is Tyler Mott?
I don't know where he's actually playing.
My
I think he got a
heart,
PTO
my
somewhere.
gut says, is he in Ottawa?
Oh, did he? I think he did go
was.
back to Ottawa. Or did he sign with the Lightning?
He's not on a team.
Forward for the
he's on the
Tampa Bay
Lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah,
One
he signed
game.
a 1 year, $800K with the Lightning. Yeah, I
Wherever
always
this
like
guy goes, people love him.
Oh man, put him on our fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Ryan was getting worked. I always forget how small he is.
All right,
Shout out to Vander Kane. Came in and helped his boy.
Yeah.
Good fight.
It was a good tilt. That was
Yeah.
a really good
But
scrap.
that should have been a penalty. Like the Kulak, I don't even know if it was Dumoulin who hit Kulak in the back, but that should have been a check from behind, straight into the numbers, right into him, and then Kulak went.
I don't think is check from behind a penalty.
a board in.
Okay.
Board in, sorry, but I was just gonna say that wasn't called because there was so many other power plays called in that first period. Game management at its finest.
Game management,
Man,
baby.
our power play is pretty
Strong
impressive right now.
Yeah. Okay. We need to get back into the YouTube chat, which is brought to you by our friends at Finning Cat. It's the Finning Cat YouTube chat.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Rings well.
I see what you did there.
Yep. This Friday and Saturday, you are not going to want to miss the WestJet NHL Fan Park with Finning Cat, located in the Edmonton Ice District. If you want to find out more, go to finning.com/heritage classic. Join them this Friday, 3 till 9. This Saturday, noon until 6. Swing by the Finning Cat booth for a free swag, always enticing, and a chance to sit in heavy-duty equipment, also always enticing.
Oh, you know we love that. I might go on
Finning.com.
Saturday.
Finning.com/heritage classic. Cat is a proud partner of the NHL. Jay, there are a lot of people who are saying things like what I'm about to read in the chat, but this one comes in from OJ. Can someone tell
Hello,
Jay?
X-World.
Can someone tell Jay that I am sorry that I hated on him for so long about his take on Bouchard? Please accept my sincere apologies for talking trash about your completely correct take. Sorry.
Okay, so now let's just talk about it. I always say I'm not critical of Bouchard. It's just I'm now happy that we're putting him in the right position for success.
What was it that you were against, just so people know?
That he's not a good defenseman.
Okay, I
And you
feel
have
like
to,
that was obvious.
But everyone's shitting on me. Like, yeah, he can run our power play, great, but put him in the 6th slot so we can mitigate, the defensive lapses that he possesses, because that's not going to go away. Can it improve? Yes, but it's not going to go away. So I think I really love the situation we put him in. Drive our power play, Bouch, get them points, and let's just shelter you a little bit.
I don't know if people on camera saw that our feet just touched Liam.
No, you touched my foot. My foot was there, and you stomped on
I'm
me.
just stretching out.
But
Letting the
I
chat
agree.
see my
I'm
ankles a
sure
little bit.
there's a Surveyor Brett joke there.
Yeah, probably.
I agree. I think
Mhm.
Bouchard needs to be held accountable for his defensive play,
It's fine.
but he needs to be in the offensive zone too. So it's kind of like such a
Mhm.
give and take with him, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's
You
what
just
it
got to
is.
manage it, just manage him right,
Yeah.
and that's and as long as we admit to that and manage him right, then he's great.
And
He's great.
Kulak is a great partner for everyone.
Yeah,
So hopefully it just brings out the best in him.
yeah, 100%.
I want to take a look at some things that have been going on around the NHL in the last couple of days. This really pissed me off. I meant to bring it up yesterday and I didn't. On the Frozen Frenzy Day, Brady Tkachuk was given an instigator penalty in the final few minutes of the hockey game. The league decided to rescind it. It's funny that they'll do that for a meaningless game in the middle of October. Would you ever do that in the playoffs, though? No. What a farce. What
And
an
it was-
absolute joke.
Oh, and it was and they got to even up with Pietrangelo, so we could Pietrangelo should have 2 games.
This is proof why the NHL upheld nurses, because they didn't want to piss off Vegas with the Pietrangelo thing.
yeah, but they
100%.
should have. But then then if they were going to enforce the nurse, they should have give Petro 2 games.
Yeah.
That's if you have to enforce it, but the reason why they rescinded it is because it looked like it was 2 willing combatants.
Mhm.
It was from the heat of the game, and it wasn't like someone going out to hurt someone. That is exactly what the nurse and F Face's name was
Haig.
with Haig. Haig was come at me.
Yeah.
And nurse is because he's coming out. It invited him to fight. So yeah, super effing annoyed. And the tinfoil hat what ifs are just going through my head.
The play from Tkachuk too, when he's punching Tuck on the ice when he doesn't have the helmet, is dirty. That is a dirty play. And that is like against the code.
It totally is. Yeah.
Greasy.
What, punching the guy when he's on the ice?
He was on the ice and his helmet was down and he was like
he fell on him and punched him in the face.
Yeah, and like I understand it in the frustration from Tkachuk, but it's like that's greasy. But no surprise, he's a Tkachuk.
I would take Brady Tkachuk on my team.
I mean, obviously, but it's still a greaseball play.
Although
it's emotional, man. Hockey's an emotional sport.
I don't that commercial with him. Not a big fan.
I'm okay with that. If you're in a fight, hey, like things happen.
That's just things just happen. Like it's
they can happen.
Like, does he make the decision? I know this is greasy. I'm doing it. He's like, no. I'm seeing red and just like.
But you got to face the consequences for it.
Sure.
Him shedding the mitts.
That's my argument.
Did you see him shed the mitts too? Because it was he threw him so fast. It was a very cool visual.
All right. Speaking of just making things up as they go, I'm sure everyone watching the show today has seen it, but Shane Pinto given a 41-game suspension for gambling activities. Now, the important note here, the NHL has nothing that says he himself wagered on NHL games. Still gets a 41-game ban for gambling-related activities, whatever that is. But also, usually suspensions can only start, like the clock can only start when you're signed to a contract and on a team. The NHL just deciding that that's not the case here. They're going to retroactively begin the suspension from game 1 of the Senators season, even though Pinto's not on the Senators right now. They basically just gave Pierre Dorion a get out of jail free card.
And he has to sign his QO offer now to like accommodate all this or something. I'm pretty sure I read something that he might have to sign his qualifying offer. He might
be advised to, because he needs to make some sort of money this year when he eventually gets back.
I've read conflicting things.
Bruce Garriock did say, told the Sens have rescinded all previous offers and Pinto may have to sign his qualifying offer to officially begin serving suspension.
This is like conspiracy theory, like very chestnut checkers cap circumvention.
Is
awesome.
Is he allowed to practice and stuff like that, or is he like suspended from all team activities?
I don't think he can do anything.
I would assume.
Bruce Garriock says he can't
even put on skates. He's banned from hockey.
Fair enough. This is happening a lot in sports now. Like NFL, it's kind of been a thing for a little bit. And now they're cranking down on it. In soccer, it's happening like quite heavily too. A guy just got suspended 10 months today.
Yeah.
For betting?
For betting. And then there was another guy earlier in the season who was betting on him like himself to score goals. And he was suspended for 10 months, but he was injured at the same time and he wasn't allowed any team activities. So he wasn't allowed to get like treatment for his injuries and stuff. I just think like sometimes he's come down. It's like, okay, like sure, you can't like bet and stuff like that, but like you gotta treat these players well as well. Like they deserve to.
I think the Pinto one's interesting because the hammer came down as hard as it did, and he wasn't betting on NHL games according to their investigation. They don't have.
Well, then that's weird.
That's what I mean, right?
You're allowed. You're allowed to bet.
Can you bet on other sports? Right? You
yes,
can. Right?
Of course.
You're a human, right?
You should be. Yes. What the hell?
And Calvin Ridley in the NFL was betting on games while he was injured. He wasn't even playing.
Yeah, but he was betting on his own team.
Yeah, like that's I agree with like you can't bet on the sport that you play in. But like that is where like come on, put a little money on the basketball game. I'm trying to entertain myself.
Said athletes just like us.
Yeah.
They throw down too.
It was a real weird one in Ottawa, and we'll see what ends up happening because again, like a lot of question marks here, nothing really that firm. Like Garriock saying he's got to sign his qualifying offer. Other people saying the suspension can just go, and even though he's not on the roster,
now all of a sudden he fits into the cap,
or it gives the Senators till the midway point of the year to trade Matthew Joseph. Like it's crazy. I don't get it. Doesn't make a ton of sense.
Like I said, this is very cerebral cap circumvention.
James Stewart, Ottawa's helmet ad is a betting company. That's kind of funny.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. Anyways.
97 is a light goal still, by the way. We're at 64.
63. If you're watching, 64. If you're watching on the YouTube, hammer that like button. If
Let us know if you want it by liking the show.
Yeah. If you're chipping in on the Finning Cat YouTube chat, hammer that like button. Let's get back up to 97.
YouTube chat.
Jay's in a singing mood.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be honest. I
actually left last show kind of let down because you were knocking my singing. Liam was supportive.
I was all in. I was breaking free.
Soaring.
Oh,
Maybe we should do a musical episode. Maybe that's how we
That'll
break
give him
this.
a kick in the ass.
I don't think so.
All right, Tyler.
Wah, wah.
unsurprising.
Yeah. Okay, we're heading towards the end of the show. Let's get to the menu for DoorDash. Liam,
Ding dong.
make DoorDash your holiday hack this holiday season. If you're running out of time to get the groceries and the gifts and everything you need for the big holiday party you agreed to throw, let DoorDash help you out a little bit. And for a limited time, our Canadian listeners can get 25% off and no delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more. When you download the DoorDash app and use the promo code NATION25, the promo code that's up there, up in the top corner of your screen, NATION25.
I have a friend whose family is whose family tradition is on Christmas Eve is to DoorDash donaires.
That's a good tradition.
one.
Is that your family?
I'm asking if I can join his family.
Nice.
Mine is watch Star Wars,
Oh.
which is a really good one.
I always try to watch Elf once.
Yeah, I watch Elf a lot around Christmas.
I'm the Grinch, the Jim Carrey one. That was my generation. So
I'm Mary Shrekmas, the 15-minute short Shrek film.
Oh, I watched that last.
It's pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
It was fast. It moved fast.
Yeah. I have
It
a
was-
very short attention span.
Yeah, it was. They pulled it all together. Christmas is almost ruined there in Shrekland.
Yeah. Not in
Not-
my
not-
swamp.
not-
I was,
don't-
I was
don't
just
be a
gonna
spoiler
say that,
alert.
Tyler.
What's that?
Not in my swamp.
What's it called? Far, far
It's
away.
all ogre
Isn't that where he
now.
lives?
Mary Shrekmas.
I know what the movie's called, but doesn't he live in Far, Far Away?
In a galaxy far, far away.
Right.
You're getting
Yeah.
the movies
Yeah,
confused.
sorry.
All right, the menu tonight for DoorDash. A couple of big games on tap around the NHL. You have the Boston Bruins, 6-0, putting their perfect record on the line. They're taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Should be a win. Also, Colorado is in Pittsburgh. Colorado also putting their perfect 6-0 record on the line. What's more likely tonight? Okay. You got the Avs at 6-0. You got the Bruins at 6-0. You have the Sharks at 0-5-1. What happens first? All the perfect teams have a loss, or the Sharks finally get a win? It's a tough question. Sharks taking on the Bolts.
Oh, well, they're not going to win.
I mean, it's the NHL. You never know.
No, I know. The Sharks stink.
They're very bad. They're
They are
a
not
very
Wales.
bad hockey team.
So,
We're not that far ahead of them. In the
One win.
Well,
was
yeah,
tied.
only 2 points up on the Sharks. I know, but like, still,
I know, but it's weird.
if you parlay the Lightning, Avs, and Bruins tonight, it pays out 3.21 to 1.
Someone hit the all 16 leg.
I
Yeah.
know. Not me though. I wouldn't have been at work today. Would have taken a week
Yeah.
off. Really celebrated.
Um,
Anyways, those are kind of your appetizers. Obviously, the main course tonight is the Oilers taking on the Rangers at 7
Mhm.
o'clock. Ring of Honor night for the Oilers. Doug Waite and Charlie
Douglas, wait.
Huddy. Jay, give us your favorite Doug Waite memory.
I ran into him at H&M in West Edmonton. Well, I think it was H&M. It was a store where H&M is. And he was there with his wife and newborn child. And that was very impressionable on me because I love Doug Waite. Obviously, the goal against Calgary, very powerful. A Dougie Waite fist pump was always something good to see. Him hoisting the Stanley Cup against kind of because he had a sore shoulder against the Oilers is nightmare fuel for me and very conflicting because I love Doug Waite so much.
Yeah, Doug Waite. I like what they're doing here when they do kind of like one Oiler from the 2000s era, one from the 80s, and tie it all together in this Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So
No, he's worthy of it,
Yeah.
man. He was awesome.
Same
And
thing
it
with
did
Charlie
a
Huddy.
very dark time in Oilers land.
we were debating this on Oilers Nation Radio, like who's the next kind of group to get in. And Dan was like, well, Chris Pronger, like he's responsible for the 06 run. I think the combination,
That's just a trolling
I know.
statement.
I think the combination needs to be you were a damn good player, but also a great Oiler, right? And like Doug Waite, great Oiler. Charlie Huddy, never the best player on any of those teams, but a damn good Oiler, even coming back, coaching, all of that stuff. So I think that's kind of the duo you have to check off. I think next year we get
Mac T.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Mac T's probably.
next year,
coming
Mac
up
T and
pretty
Hemsky.
quick.
Oh, Hemsky
That'd be a good
for
one.
Shizzle.
I think those would be the two. That's my official prediction.
Yeah.
Skorkov?
Mine was Hemsky. I don't think Horkov is there yet.
I think Horkov's there. He was the-
Horkov will be there.
But I think Hemsky would go in. Oh, but Horkov was the captain.
Yeah.
I know, but fucking Hemsky was Hemsky, man.
He was the best
The
player.
He was
Heart of a
ours.
lion.
He was ours.
That guy, he wasn't the biggest dude, man, and he went into all the high danger areas and would just get crunched.
Dacky asked, would Horkoff be eligible? I think everyone's eligible.
Yeah,
I
everyone.
don't. It's the Oilers. They make their own rules.
They make their own rules.
They're a Hall of Fame.
Tonight in the NBA, doubleheader, Sixers, Bucks, Suns, and Lakers. How about the Raps starting things off with a dub last night as well?
Right.
That's good to see.
Who'd they play?
Timberwolves.
Oh, they suck too. So.
Oh, Jesus, Liam, lighten up.
The Raptors are not good, people. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I know.
It's gonna be tough for you.
But let us have a good
1-0.
Yeah,
How's their third line?
The third unit is not good. Malachi Flynn, not the best pick.
Let's wrap up the show with our Betway bets of the game. Shout out to Betway, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. The Oilers are home dogs tonight. Plus 110 on the money line. Rangers are minus 130. If you want to chase the juice, Oilers on the reverse puck line at plus 245.
Why not? Let's get juicy.
Very, very
Let's get silly.
Leon Draisaitl is the most likely goal scorer, according to Betway, at minus 106 on the anytime goal line. Let's get to our bets of the game, though. Liam is 1-0. Hello.
I'm bringing it in slowly here. Just delay me for a minute.
Me. I did Draisaitl over 1.5 points, even money. Tonight, I'm going even less risky.
Yeah, I'm excited to flash that up. Jay and I are 0-1, so we're both down a unit. Liam at
He's
even
not
money.
even making units.
Well, he's up 1 unit now, and we can't say the same, Jay, so I feel like we can't really talk.
I'm in my winning ways. I'm 100% on the year.
While we wait to get the board up here, I'll go first with mine because I know it. It's Evan Bouchard over 2.5 shots on goal. Listen, I know the third pairing demotion and all that.
That's fine.
He's still going to get ice time.
Yes.
He's still going to get offensive zone starts. I think Evan Bouchard's also going to be motivated to hammer some pucks
What's
on
that
net.
paying?
Even money.
No,
That's not
Minus
bad.
105?
Minus 105.
Minus 105.
That's even money. That's
Basically
not bad.
money.
That's not bad. I like it.
Yeah.
4 away from the light goal, people.
Keep hammering the like button. Liam, what's your bet tonight?
Mine is the lock of the year.
Oh.
Warren Fogle over 1.5 shots. He had 2 goals last game, and they're still giving me this.
Yeah, and what is that paying?
Minus 200, but I believe it will still be money once I win it, so it still counts the same as if it was plus 100.
I feel like if you lose it, you should go down 2 units.
I'll take that. I'll take those odds.
So you're throwing 2 units on Fogel over 1.5 shots. All right.
Not?
I don't know. I think that goes against the spirit of the game, but
Well,
sure.
No. He gets 1 unit if he wins, but if
But
he
I would
loses
run the
because a
risk.
bet is such a favorite, he loses 2.
Sure.
So he's risking
Oh,
2
that's fair.
units on it.
That's fair.
Yeah, because you got to bet 2 units to make 1 when
Yeah.
it's minus 200.
Jay, what's yours?
Well, I'm trying to manifest something here with this third line that we love so much, and I do actually love it. So McLeod somehow attacks the center of the ice and pots one tonight.
All right, Ryan McLeod, 4.75 to 1 on the odds for him to find the back of the net. Hopefully that Oilers third line can get some scoring done tonight. They might need it. This is a Rangers team that is very stingy defensively. They're 6 men deep. Igor could be getting the start tonight. One of the best.
But we
goalies
got
in the
Igor
NHL.
coming off a heater. That's the only thing.
Hopefully
He's tired.
that's working our way. Hopefully.
He's going to be focused on scoring that goal Johnny was talking about. He's going to let in a couple.
Shout out to Jonny Lazarus for hopping on the program today. Today around Nation HQ, new episode of the Real Life Podcast dropping a little bit later on today. And then pre-gaming with Boardsy, 6 o'clock start on the show today. Boardsy and Liam going to be breaking down the game.
Yeah, I get Liam today.
My debut.
Look at that.
That's exciting.
Very big for me.
And
Yeah.
anyone in the chat or watching the show right now, if you do not subscribe to Oilers Nation YouTube, please do. There is a boudoir shoot if we hit 30,000 subs featuring the Tyler Yaremchuk.
We're at like
Only.
17.5
Yep.
right now.
So just
We've
need
grown a lot in the last 500.
we just need 12,500, which that's a lot.
All right.
That's
We
it.
If you
hit
tell 2 friends and they tell 2
Brick
friends,
by brick.
that's
We're
how it
going to do
happens.
that. Brick by
It's
brick.
like this room.
All right. That is a wrap on today's
It's
show. We hit
metaphor.
our like goal. Shout out to everyone on the Fitting Cat YouTube chat. You guys did a great job.
David skated today.
Pardon?
McDavid skated today.
Yeah,
He's
he's
playing.
playing. He's playing
He's
on
playing.
Sunday.
He's playing on
playing.
Sunday.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about
We're
it.
manifesting it with these likes. I'm
Yep.
telling you, it's working.
Good job, YouTube chat. Shout out to Betway 19 plus. Please play responsibly. DoorDash, dash that for the win. Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company, Star Mechanical. Wendy's, we got burgers, Steve, for lunch today.
There's
Hello.
so many burgers out there right now I'm looking at. It's insane.
Both Sherwood Ford the Giant and Sherwood Power Sports and Marine and Finning Cat. Check them out at the Fan Fest down at Ice District this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. Heritage Classic weekend in Edmonton. We also got some listeners from out of town. I saw Shroom Sauce is in.
I saw that one too.
Mhm.
That's
a lot-
exciting.
A lot of people making
Well,
the trip
come
up.
join us. We are doing a pre-event and post-event at Greta.
And if you want to get to and from the game, we're going to have a bus taking you to and from Greta as well. So
limited seats, got to put rules on this because there's 2 buses coming. So essentially get there early, you'll get a wristband and you'll come on the bus.
So everyone who won their way in at our season launch party, you're good. You're getting on the bus.
Yep.
So come to Greta for a drink, maybe an appy before. The food there is very good. If you're
maybe a quick game of Mario Kart.
Yep. Whatever. It's a great
laps.
spot. It's a great spot. There's going to be NFL football probably on the TVs too. And then the bus will take you back to Greta after the game as well.
So you can go to Greta at 11.
Yeah, I might.
That's what I'm going to do, I think.
Yeah. All right. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, with Frank Saravalli in person, and we're breaking down the Oilers and Rangers game. You won't want to miss it. 12:01 Mountain Time. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you for watching Oilers Nation Every Day. Hit the subscribe button to never miss a show. And for more, visit OilersNation.com.